What's going on, guys? So, my name is Sam Johnson, and tonight we have a special guest on the Scale Labs RC podcast, our very first interview from a podcast style. So, super exciting. And, we had Cole Rhodes on our last stream. And now that we're going to a interview style podcast to where we don't have to deal with going live, I think it's going to be so much better. We can provide a lot more content as well as all the way around. It's going to be better for everybody, I think. So without further ado, Richland, Indiana's Ryan Ralph. How we doing, sir?
Oh, pretty good. Hanging out.
Heck yeah! So you guys are getting ready to head down to shootout and Chili Bowl, I assume.
Yep. We'll be headed out to Wednesday.
Cool. Right on. Yeah, I know. There's some guys up here leaving. Tuesday, Wednesday. It's kind of when it all gets kicked off. So, you guys planning on staying down there? Are you going to come back home and then go back, or are you planning on staying down
No,
there?
no, we'll stay. So actually, I'll be working on a midget too while we're down there. So
Cool.
we run practice on Sunday there for the midget, and then our prelims on Monday night.
Nice. So, who big car side of stuff? Then whose car do you work on?
Jeff Schindler, he
Cool.
also runs RC cars, so he'll be running the RC Chili Bowl too.
Cool. Yeah, that'll be. I'm sure that's a little tougher to shoehorn all that in. When's your
It
prelim
it
again?
is Monday night.
Monday night. Cool. So then, yeah, you got the kind of the rest of the week.
Yeah, luckily the invite class doesn't run on Monday with practice, so that'll be nice for me. But he's gonna miss his practice, so
Yeah.
it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. For sure. Well, cool, man. Well, I think what we should get doing, I'm sure so many people know who you are already in our Dirt Oval RC world. But for those who don't, give us a little bit of background who you are and give us a little bit of your story on how we got here.
So I'm Ryan Ralph, 31. Yeah, 31. I'm a union pipe fitter, Richland, Indiana. Started racing RC cars in January of 2017. He was weeks old. He was born in December of 16. I was a second year apprentice at the time, so I was a lot of times when you're an apprentice and the work gets slow, you're usually the ones laid off. So I spent some time laid off. I was still going to school through the apprenticeship, and my dad was a service tech for Pepsi at the time. He worked on vending machines and such. Well, he found this racetrack that's not far from us. He went over and worked on their vending machines, and he's like, "Hey, they got like dirt oval racing in there. Like you can buy a truck for $189, and it's everything you need to go race." I was like, "Okay." So we went over there one day and we bought trucks and we started racing. And I spent um, every Thursday we would race. They raced off road on Saturdays, so I would go over there on Saturday and practice the oval, and I could go over for $10 and practice all day long. So I would just spend my whole day over there, just burning as many laps as I could, and then go race again on Thursday. And I was, which like I said, I was laid off, so money was not like something I'd go out and just buy RC cars like they're going on style or buy a new remote, buy this, buy that. When I started moving up to another classes, um, there was a lot of people that I guess seen that I was a decent driver, and they started letting me use their stuff, race with their stuff. There was a guy locally. He uh, he had a bunch of cars, and he enjoyed the hobby, but he also enjoyed helping other guys. And he gave me an SC mod to run, a sprint car to run for a little bit, a non-wing sprint car when it was still kind of big. But I was just running local stuff, and then Um, but at first, I was trying to run SC mod with a Traxxas Slash. I still ran the TQ radio. So for a while, I mean, that's all I had was just a TQ radio. I just put a TQ radio on whatever the car I was running, and that's what I raced. So I guess it helped me learn how to drive better. But now there's so many adjustments on these fancy remotes, I don't even know how to use any of them. I just turn everything to 100%, and that's where it stays. If I need more power, less power, I do that a little bit, but like dual rate and stuff, I don't mess with that stuff.
So
But
you're all adjusting like when you go make adjustments on the controller, then you're making adjustments basically like right to endpoints.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't change endpoints for steering. I stay full lock either direction, and then 100% dual rate. Uh, Throttle, I'll adjust it, but usually I don't do anything else besides that in the radio. But yeah, and then I just started racing locally stuff, and I remember I went to 2019 Pay Dirt. There was like 52 SC mods there. You know, you had all the big guys, Chad Jones there, Tyler Jones was there. I think Draymire was there. There was like stacked SC mod. That's when SC mod was big and really thriving. And I ran SC mod there, and I would had a really good run, like on a TQ pace, and the front end came off the ground going on the back stretch. It was a big track, and it aired out, and I flipped on the back stretch, and it ruined my TQ run, and it put me in like the B, I think. And I didn't make it out of the B, but I was so close. And I knew that I had speed. I just needed to be able to get a whole race in to put it together. But those guys were just, I'd watch them like, man, how are they just so fast? And they never miss. And I just kept, I mean, I just stayed at it. I mean, I didn't cut it no rest. I worked on my cars till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, I raced every single weekend. I might go race the three different tracks over the weekend. I mean, I went hard at it because I wanted to be good at it. And I went to the 2000, 2020 Chili Bowl was been my next year going. So I went. So let me back up. I went to the 2019 Chili Bowl. Um, I was a nobody. I was running a Prodigy SC mod, and there was a local guy here that was making sprint car chassis, and I was running his B6 conversion car, and it was a decent car. I mean it done all right, and I went out for the heat race in it. The first heat racing, it wasn't that great. I went out the second heat racing, it was perfect. I mean, it was so easy to drive. It was super fast, and it was that year. I don't know how long you've been around, so I don't know if you remember any of this, but that was like the first year it went like extreme high bite. I mean, it was rubbered up, extreme high bite.
So I haven't personally been down to the Chili Bowl yet. I haven't had a chance to go. Obviously I would love to. I was going to go this year, and things just didn't shake out. But obviously, hearing everybody's stories all the time, it's I feel like I've been there 5 or 6 times after
Yeah,
so many guys talk
it's a
about it.
fun time. It's a fun
Yeah.
time. But
So go back a little bit. That pay dirt race that you're talking about.
yeah,
Where was that at?
that was at Tony Lidgard's old track. It was I can't even think of the name of his track now. It's up
Lidgard had
north.
backyard. It was before backyard, I'm assuming.
The backyard. It was
Oh, it was
backyard.
backyard.
It
Okay.
was the old backyard. It wasn't the new backyard track. It was the old one. He had one
Okay.
before at a different location.
Okay.
But yeah, that's when I first started getting into it. And 19 Chili Bowl, I went there with a Prodigy. Uh, I went first in seating as like a complete nobody. I mean, I wasn't anybody at all at that point, uh, which was really cool because there were still a lot of really fast guys running SC mod. So that was pretty cool. And then I went to crap after that, and I didn't make it out like the D main because everything kept breaking, was falling apart. So 20, the year of 20, I was pretty much just whatever I could come up with. I still didn't have a whole lot of money to race with. I just enjoyed it. Whatever somebody would let me borrow or use. I mean, I would go run races and never have a lap on somebody's car. They just let me borrow, and I'd go do pretty good with it. I ran I want to say it was 20 or 19 King of the Wings with a borrowed Plan B car, and I led most of the A main with it, and that was the first time I had ever run the car.
Nice.
Nope, it would have been 20 because it was the same year that I started running the Cyclone SC mod, and that car was the car I ran 20 Chili Bowl with, which was really good. But yeah, so I went 20 Chili Bowl. That I ran a Custom Works Outlaw 4 for it with Sprint, and then the Cyclone SC mod, which was the same guy that was making the sprint car conversions. So we ran those that year. I done really well. I was led some laps of the A main and sprint, and it finished in second behind Draymire, which ended up being, I guess, worked itself out because I got caught up in traffic and he got by me for that win. And then when the year that I won, he got caught up in traffic and I passed him and won. So it kind of it's really a lot of it's just luck. It's luck of the draw, luck of the heats, and then luck in the mains. You need the luck in the mains.
Yeah. So, and I think it needs to be noted, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but in all my research, through the Chili Bowl, that 2019, that first run, other than looks like you didn't run in 2023, that 2019 run was the only run you didn't make the A main in both the classes you ran.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's
yeah,
your first time was the only time you didn't. I think
yeah.
that's everybody should know that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So 23, I was actually planning on going, and I ended up having to go to Baltimore for work, so I wasn't able to go. I was pretty bummed out because I already planned everything, had everything ready to go, and then I found out a few days before Chili Bowl I was flying out to Baltimore for work. So it is what it is. You know, I enjoy going to Chili Bowl. It's a good race. I enjoy seeing all my friends there. I mean, there's so many people there that you only get to see once a year or twice a year. But yeah, I mean, it's a good time. I enjoy it. And then I started with Dustin in 20, I think it was 2020, right after Chili Bowl. He messaged me on Facebook. He was like, "You're the best thing since sliced bread." But but yeah, it's been fun with him ever since then.
Absolutely. So talk. I mean, talk a little bit more about that. Obviously you're a team GFRP driver now.
Hmm.
Have been for several years. Is it that easy? You have a couple good runs and
No,
you get a Facebook message
no,
randomly from
no, it's
Dustin
not that
Malcoat or
easy. No,
right.
it's
So
not.
so tell me a little bit about going from okay, I'm just trying to scrape together every penny I can to go race to I'm a team driver. That there's
Yeah.
a big jump in between there. So what does that look like? And then
Really, I mean, I don't feel like it's so much of being a good driver to be a team driver for anybody. Like you could be the best driver, win every race, and not be a good person, and not nobody's gonna want you. That's not it's not how it works. They want people that will help others. They want people that are nice to people, and we all have our times where we say stuff we don't mean to say, or that we shouldn't say, just because of the the adrenaline rush you have on the driver's stand or the encounters you run with people. But for the most part, I mean, a lot of people think you go to team drivers and they won't want to talk to you or answer your questions. That's what they're there for. I mean, when you get a team deal, that's your obligation is to be support for that company. That's the only thing they're really getting out of you is the support and pushing their products.
I think you really hit on something there that's like a side note, if you will, about saying stuff you don't mean necessarily on the driver's stand, or you get frustrated right in the heat of the moment. Personally, I learned that a lot this week. So I ran that Four Rocks race in Delavan this weekend, and for got lucky or however you want to word it, but I actually made the A main with my late model,
Yeah,
and it went high bite, and I wasn't necessarily prepared for that as a driver yet. And
yeah,
one of my good buddies, with probably 5 laps to go, I'm not gonna put his name out there and put him on blast or anything, but I think he would self admittedly say he gets pretty hot if he lets himself. And
mm-hmm.
I was in the middle of two other or him and another guy, and got up on the berm, and when I hit the berm, the car shot back down to the track across the track, and I sent him right into the wall.
Oh no.
And no, you could hear him yell and holler, from the other end of the
Hmm.
driver's stand, and I was just like, oh, I just want to finish this and get off the driver's stand at this point.
Yeah, yeah,
And there after that, instead of going up to him right after the race or anything, I let him go put his car down. I kind of stood over by his tent right by the racetrack and let him kind of put the ball in my court. Like, hey, what the heck was that, dude? Like, what? And
hmm,
then we were able to say, well, hey, man, here's the deal. I got up on the berm and it just shot my car down. I
yeah,
would never ever hit you on purpose. Like, he's like,
yeah,
oh, I was just making sure. But I think that's a really good lesson that you just hit on for people. That when people are upset right there on the driver's stand, it's so important to maybe let somebody calm down for a second and
yeah.
then go have
Oh
a
yeah,
conversation.
yeah. I mean, I've done it with several people. I mean, I feel like once you get to the team driver level, at a certain point, it almost becomes like a job, to like or an obligation that you need to run good, or because everybody holds you to a higher standard. They see you come in like, oh, well, why isn't he doing good? Why is he struggling? If he's supposed to be this good, why is he falling behind? And I feel that pressure. Other guys might not feel that pressure, but I pressure myself to be as best as I can anywhere I go. Besides PTs, I'd show up there and not know I'm going to suck, and that's it. But luckily, I had a good run there this last time, so maybe my luck will change there. But I don't know. There's been times that I would go to like just somewhere, a small race somewhere, a big club race somewhere, people will ask you, what's going on? Why'd you run that good? It's like, well, maybe I'm trying something. Maybe I'm out testing for somebody, or just trying to learn new stuff. And it's the expectations of it will get to you for sure. Um, or you're at a big event and somebody clobbers you in the main, and you're like, man, I just spent a whole 4 days here racing, and it's over because somebody clobbered you. And it might not be on purpose, or it might be on purpose. Who knows? I've seen them go both ways. I mean, there's been chili bowl mains that I've seen in the past that have been won by cars that shouldn't have won because other cars made sure they didn't win. But I mean, it's at the end of the day, that's between you and not me. It's between you
Right.
and God at the end of the day. So
Right.
if that's the way you want to be, that's the way to be it. But I try not to be that way. I try to help everybody I can when I can. It might not be the best advice. It might not be the right advice, but I'm going to tell you what I think, and that's what it is.
Right. I mean, that's all you can do at the end of the day, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
provide the best feedback and best advice you can
Mhm.
give, and I don't think anybody's ever. I know there are, but most people, and especially guys like yourself, you're not getting out there to set people down the wrong path, right? I mean,
No, no.
you're
I
trying to
mean,
help the hobby and
when we
expand the
leave, we're
hobby.
all going home with the same thing. Nothing
Yep.
in debt of RC stuff.
Yep.
We all in the hole when we leave.
Right. Okay, so let's get back on our timeline here. Then I kind of derailed this there for a minute, but so 2020 was your last year with the Cyclone. Then 2021, you show up to the Chili Bowl for the first time as a
Yep.
GFRP team driver. How does
Yep.
that feel walking into the building now with a little bit of gusto behind you?
Well, I mean, I guess it's pretty good. You still have that flutters of going to the Chili Bowl, but it's still, I mean, it wasn't. I think that was the year I first started making my own prep. And I was set on, I'm going to use my prep, and that's what I'm going to stay on the whole week. Was it the right prep to be on? Absolutely not. It wasn't, but I was bound and determined to make sure that I was going to do my best to push mine to the best of my ability. So my tires wasn't that great. They were just, that's my big thing is tires. I'm really good at tires. I can figure tires out, and when I figure tires out, that's what's going to make me shine from most people. Um, it's not ever my car set up perfect. It's tires. I learned that from Brian Smith. He hasn't raced now for a few years, but he wasn't big on setup adjustments. He would go back and just keep changing tires until he has the tires that worked for his car on that track. It wasn't so much to go back and, I mean, he could adjust cars. Don't get me wrong. He was a really good racer. I don't know if you know him or not, but
Definitely heard
he,
the name, but I couldn't
right,
take him out of a crowd.
but he just was really good at tires. So then I started learning tires from somebody that knows really good about tires. He was a big go kart guy. Him and his brother were big go kart guys. Braden Smith, he was there this weekend. I don't know if you know him or not. He was in the late model A main too, and the sprint A main.
Yep, yep, he's very good.
Yeah, so it's Braden's uncle is who I'm talking
Okay,
about.
okay.
Um, but even Braden's a good kid at racing. I mean, he's he'll be fast. He was fast before when he raced. But yeah, so anyway, where I was going with that was so I ran that chili bowl. I remember pulling in for the SC Mod A main. My car was really good. I felt like in hot laps, like I was running up on the people that were starting in front of me. So I was like, okay, I'm good. I can make this work. I pull in Dave Wilson. He doesn't race anymore now, but he was my pit guy. And I said, check everything, make sure you don't see nothing loose. And he's like, oh, it looks good. He throws it back down. And I pull on the track, and I was like, man, my body looks like it's bouncing real bad. And I noticed that I guess whenever maybe when he set the car down or I handed him the car back or something, it pulled the left rear body mount out of the
Wow,
brace. So the left rear of my body was just bouncing the whole time during the whole A main. So I think I still ended up running third or fourth, something like that. But I could definitely tell a big difference when the race started from before the race started.
that's
And
what you
then
call
sprint,
dynamic downforce right there.
yes, yeah, yeah. The arrow changed big between those two. Um, and then sprint car was just I missed on tires and it wasn't good. And then 22, the track gripped up again for the A mains. Um, I ran a GF6 that year. I liked the GF6. It felt more comfortable for me than the Prodigy did. So I ran it that year, and it was good. I mean, I seeded decent, I think, and then I ended up overall led the whole A main and SC mod, and then I had to turn around. Didn't even go to the driver's stand. They had the sprint A main back to backs.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that was kind of nerve wracking after just getting the nerves of winning the first one. Now I got to turn around and run another one, and I had put we were still on rebars at the time, so I put soft rebars on for the sprint A main, brand new set. Um, I threw them out there and I made some practice laps and I just kept going and practice, kept going and practice. I was like, man, these tires need to like at least start to fire. And they finally got where they were just decent enough where I know I could make laps until they came in. And I made about one too many laps because I about gave the race away on the last lap. I followed Trey Meyer for the first 10 or so laps, and then he got in a crash with lap traffic, and I passed him for the lead, and I pretty much just set a good pace and stayed out of lap traffic. And I got out front and noticed about 2 or 3 laps to go that the car started slowing down. I was like, oh no, this ain't good. And I was like, I know that I think we were running on time at that point. I was like, well, I just need to run the clock out and I'll just coast because I had a good gap back to Dustin. Luckily, when I crossed a stripe, the tone hasn't set yet for the 4 minutes. It's set before he got there. So like I never even finished the race on computer, but I had more laps than he had. So
Oh,
there
you
was
were a
no way.
lap up on the field. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man. So what ended up get was it an electronic issue that gave up or what?
It was
Just
just
tires weren't really that bad.
no, my battery dumped. So
Oh wow.
from where I made so many practice laps. But yeah,
Wow.
so it was a event for sure. And I came off driver's stand. I came off the driver's stand not knowing what happened because I didn't know if like the race was over. And Scotty was like, "Oh, we got to go back to the sheets." And I was like, "I just gave that race away on the last lap from a battery dumping." But luckily, Dustin got caught at the line, and I didn't. So I didn't even finish the race.
Wow. Yeah, that is crazy to be number one. You go back to back. Number
Yeah,
two, number two, you're holding off all those guys in the outlaw sprint main and the drama there on the last lap. So that's my
yeah, it
heart's
was.
racing just you telling the story. I
Yeah,
can't imagine that being there.
and I was the only guy that went on softs. Everybody else went on super softs, but I had noticed in the mains previous they were going on super softs, and like their phones would be showing by the time they come off the track. So I was like, man, I don't want to take a chance on the track, get any dust on it. And if I go out on softs, at least I know they'll make it the whole time. And I still had tread on the tires when I came off. I still had the tires. I might still have them somewhere now um, that I ran that race with. I got the car here still. Ryder runs it every now and again. It's over here somewhere, right there. Um, But yeah, so it's pretty cool getting to see him run it now that he's won some 13.5 races with it. I mean, it's still a good car. It's just a 21 Assault. It's still pretty much the same exact way as it did come off from Chili Bowl.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, that was definitely the highlight. And then I turned around, went to Motorama that year, and won SC Mod in it, and came from like the D main and sprint, and ended up finishing third, I think. But I was right there. Like I messed up once, and if I wouldn't have messed that up, I think I would probably had a good shot at winning that one too.
Awesome. So you had to work in 23, but before we go to 24, you just mentioned Ryder, your son. So talk a little bit about him and what that means to you to be able to go to the track with him now and all that.
So it's I was dying when he got old enough to even start playing with the RC car, just dying for him to go race with me. And he just never really took to it. And then last year he wanted to start racing, so I started taking him racing, and then he started getting better. And I enjoy it to an extent. I love him to death, but he will tear something apart, and that's the way it stays. Right now, that assault sitting over there tore apart. Now I got to put it back together because he probably has no clue how it goes back together.
Right.
So but he's a kid, so that's how it's going to work. I know that's how it works, but that kind of stuff bothers me. But yeah, I mean, him getting to go racing, it's awesome. I would hate to see when he loses because how competitive he is. He's very competitive. I was really competitive growing up. He's way worse than me. He would crash his grandma to win a race. Wouldn't you? No. Uh, but yeah, I mean, he started picking it up and he started winning 13.5 races. He's won a few trophy races with the 13.5 stuff. We went to, in 24, we went to, 25. No, in 25, we went to Chili Bowl and he ran B Mod and done pretty good. Everything we have around us is high bite. So um, he he's used to the high bite stuff. So we went to Chili Bowl. He ran B Mod, and he done okay. I mean, it was definitely different being on it because they going on a green track. So a green track for him is not something he's used to. He's a gasser. He likes to gas it up, and that's it. But I got like sixth. We went to trackside for their duel, and he ran midget and qualified pretty good. I mean, he out qualified some good guys that were behind him. I was very surprised that he was able to run that good. And his biggest problem was running with traffic. When he gets in traffic, he he can't he hasn't figured out how to make pace with the traffic. He has his pace, and if they're in that way, I just can't get them to not run people over. So, and I know it's just even adults do it too. So it's hard to get out of their system, and that's one of the biggest things. If for people that are fast, I see these kids now that are really fast. They just drive so far off their head, it really hurts them in the end. They get caught up in wrecks when they could have slowed down behind a car for one lap and waited for the right place to pass them, um, and continued on their race. Most time, if you're leading a race and you're stuck in traffic and you're both most RC tracks are running the bottom, so it's not like he's going to run the top and pass you both, unless you're somewhere like PTs. So as long as you trust them not to run you over, you're most likely going to be fine until that lap traffic either spins out and takes you with them, or let you guys go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
him
he
getting.
Ryder can't feel too bad. I ran over Rick Putnam to win a late model heat race this weekend, so I can't talk too much.
Oh, that's just Rick. He's
I
okay. Rick just shows up for the good time.
yeah. I had never again. I don't know if you follow anything that I post or any of the stupid stuff I post, but I've been struggling real bad here lately for several months now. It's like I couldn't have won a novice race with some of my late model, and I just would have been struggling for no reason. It's like what is going on? Just I literally to the point where I couldn't make a lap with the car. Had no idea. It was so bad. And finally hit on a few things this weekend. Had some GFRP guys helping me and stuff, and man, I for the first time I had a good car, and it took me
Yeah,
back because I've been on a hiatus for probably 4 or 5 years since I raced last till I got back into it this time,
yeah.
and I finally I was like, oh, here's what a good car feels like again, finally, and
Mm-hmm.
I got in that heat race, and I pulled up on Rick. I was about a half a track away from Rick, with probably it took me about 5 laps, and I caught him. Well, when I caught him, I was like, oh man, I know that there's no way. I mean, he's Mr. Smooth for a reason. He's not going to mess up,
Mm-hmm.
and there really ain't anybody around us. So I was trying to push the issue, and then finally, he said his tire. After the fact, he said his tires went away there at the end, but I drove it in there, and he like, to me, it felt like he stopped, and
Yeah.
I mean, I drove completely up underneath him, spun him out, and I sat there and waited. And then once at the time he got squared back up, the rest of the field hit him again. So I went, and I felt so I was
Yeah.
almost I it was my first at a big race like that. Not everybody was there, but there was a lot of good guys there, and
Yeah. Yeah.
especially for me. And I was so excited, but then it didn't feel good because I did that, and back to what we just talked about letting people calm down. Obviously, you don't have to worry about Rick calming down, but I gave
Mm-hmm.
it a minute, and then I went out, went and talked to him, and as you said, it's Rick, so everything was cool. If I was
Yeah.
going to do that, there wasn't a better person to do it to.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, I know what you mean when you're talking about riders stuff like that. It's I get it because I just did it. So absolutely,
Yeah. Yeah, and he has a lot higher expectations. He feels like that he should be already at my level, that he should just start out and be at the same level I'm at, and it just doesn't work that way. He wasn't old enough to see all the work that I put in whenever he was a baby, um, to get to where I'm at. And I mean, there's still times that I struggle. I mean, I can go to tracks and struggle. You just gotta keep searching for it and find it. Trial and error is a big part of it. learning to stay calm. If you go up and watch Nathan Dean on the driver's stand, he stays calm as a cucumber the entire time. Justin Draymire, calm as a cucumber the entire time. You go up there and watch me, and you're going to see me screaming at turn marshal. I mean, my nerves just, I get worked up. I can stay calm in traffic, um, but if I think it, I'm going to say it. That's my downfall.
Dude, I start levitating. I could say I'm shaking so bad I could sit there and levitate. It's bad. So
Yeah.
I get it, and it is. You're 100% right. And anybody who's listening to this, next time you go to a race, you want some good cheap entertainment, stand across from the driver's stand or next to the driver's stand, and watch some of these guys while they're driving.
But yeah, it's so
It's a
funny.
good time.
Yeah,
It's
there's
a
a
good
friend of
watch.
mine, Brian Hendricks. I tell him all the time he's doing the pee dance ways on the driver's stand. He like dances around while he's standing up there. Uh, but yeah, so I mean, you're gonna have good times and bad times at the RC track with when it comes to getting into it with people. I mean, I've even at um, into a thing on the track, and I said something, and I ended up going back over and apologizing because I mean, we're just there to race toy cars. It's not like it's not our everyday job. Well, it is for them too, um, but not for me. It's not my everyday job. It's not my income. I don't make anything off of it. Um, just like my on the box videos I do, I don't get nothing out of that. I don't no sponsors respond to me saying, "Hey, will you do this?" It's just something I wanted to do to kind of be my give back to the hobby to help guys. The guy that really helped me the most when I got started was Jason Rudd. He's a local guy. He's ran Chili Bowl. He's not a big loose dirt guy. He's a highlight guy, and he's won some races. He's smart. He's the one that kind of took me under his wing when I first started, and we raced together. Everywhere we go, he would beat me. He'd finish first, and I'd finish second, and I was like, well, this is getting kind of old racing the same guy, and I'm riding with the guy that's beating me everywhere we go. So, but it was really cool because he was the one that stayed and pitted for me at the 22 Chili Bowl. So he got to see me when I first started, and then he was there when I won the Chili Bowl. So that was pretty cool that he stayed and helped me and got to see that, and he got to be a part of it too.
Sure, that's
That's
awesome.
awesome. But yeah, so I mean, there's just been so many people that's helped me over the years get to where I'm at, and for a long time, like GFRP is where I wanted to be. Like that was the team I wanted to be with, the cars I wanted to run, and whatever it took for me to get there is what I was going to do.
Sure. So
But
so to help, I think that's a big thing. You know, there's so many guys that I'm sure are like that, right? They want to get out and they want to go and really try to make something of themselves, right?
yeah,
So what would be something, a piece of advice you would give those guys that aren't sponsored, that aren't any, but they're, I mean, they are trying their balls off and they're doing everything that it takes. They're helpful. They're this, they're that, they're doing everything positive. They're doing everything right. What would you be your suggestion on how to go to that next level?
oh man, that would be a hard one. Just keep doing the right thing until somebody notices you. Somebody's going to eventually see it and think that you're going to be an asset to their team. I'm pretty big on the same way Dustin is. Sponsors should come to you. You shouldn't go to them. If and there's some companies where you have to apply like that just to get a sponsorship with them. They're not looking for oval racers. Some of the big like the big tire companies, stuff like that. They not going to care about oval guys until you send them something in that says, "Hey, I'm somebody in the oval community and I want to run your stuff," and they'll cut you a deal or whatever it is to get you on it. But like the manufacturers, just support them, and push their product, and eventually they're either going to see it or somebody else is going to see how well you push their product and figure out that you need to be pushing their product. Because at the end of the day, it's about sales, making sure stuff's going through and getting the support. There's guys that are really good at that kind of stuff that can be a sponsored driver if they want to be. And some guys don't like being sponsored driver. They don't want to be with one manufacturer and that's all I can do, or one tire manufacturer and that's all I can run. They enjoy being able to do whatever they want, and that's the way they like it. But I mean, I wouldn't worry if I was to go back and do it again. I wouldn't worry about trying to get a sponsor. I would just go out and enjoy it and do the best I could, and hopefully somebody would see me instead of trying to push towards it. Like I said earlier, it's at the end of the day, it's between you and God to know that you're doing the right thing with the RC.
Right, and having that, being intentional about doing it too.
Yes,
I think
yes,
I think anybody who goes into any race with the intention of I'm gonna put on this facade that I'm a good dude, or I'm gonna go out and try to act like I'm
yeah,
a good dude so I can get a
yes,
sponsorship. Those guys probably aren't ever gonna they're not gonna reap any of the reward ever, because they're not being genuine. And I
yeah,
think people can see through that, especially the guys that have been around long enough. You can see through that, I think.
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Like you know who's in good intentions and who's not. And there's people that abuse the sponsors too that just want it just for the discount and that's it. They could care less about selling any of their product. Um, and I mean, but that's what they have to do. I mean, for me to have a sponsor, other people's got to buy the product. So that's just the way the company's got to make money. No different than your job. They hire you to do a job and to make them money. If they ain't making money, you don't have a job. So it's the same thing. It
Sure.
just that's how it works.
Yep. And so one thing I want to touch on too there then is kind of when we led into this conversation, we started with, everybody's doing the right thing. So, I want to try to help people define the right thing a little more. It's common sense, I think, when you're helping people, right? But before you're able to help people, it's about wrenching. It's about getting your cars right. It's
Mhm.
about doing the maintenance and things like that. So help,
Oh yeah.
take us through what a week looks like in your maintenance program, from when you leave the racetrack on a Saturday and until you leave for the next Saturday race or whatever those days may be. What does that look like for you and your program?
So now it's not near as good as it used to be. 5 years ago, if it didn't matter if I got home at midnight, my cars were getting tore completely down. I would polish all my hinge pins, check every bolt on the car, nut, screw, whatever you want to call them, and make sure everything was in perfect operating order. Bearings, just I would go through the car entirely, make sure everything. I would re-grease all the CBAs and axles to make sure everything was just as perfect as it could be. Now, come home from racing and I get put on the shelf until the next time I'm ready to go race, and then I pull it off and I'm like, man, I really need to work on this thing. I'll work on it when I get to the track. So it's, but now he's older and he's involved in more stuff, and we do more stuff um, than we did before as a family. I try to spend more time doing that than I did because I just spent so much time when he was younger RC racing. I missed a lot, not knowing that what I was missing, just going racing because he wasn't old enough to go with me yet. So that was just my hobby, and it was a sacrifice I made to go racing. Which now they go with me everywhere I go, so it's turned into like a family event to go RC racing.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's peel the onion back just a little bit more then, and take me back to 5 years ago. Take me back to lack of a better term, take me back to prime Ryan Ralph, if you will. Not that you're not in your prime now, but
I'm
back
not in my
before.
prime anymore. I'm not near the driver I was 5 years ago. I'm
Yep.
a more level-headed driver now than I was 5 years ago. I could drive a whole lot more aggressive car 5 years ago. Um, and I was die hard with it. I breathed and lived every day by what I could do to make my cars go faster. And I mean, like I said, I would stay up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning going over every little thing. I mean, I might spend the week and change the setup of my car 4 or 5 times throughout the week, thinking, all right, I'm gonna try this and see if this works. And then I would change my mind again and change the whole car again and do it. And everybody that I raced with then used to make fun of me because I would bring my car in, I'd get a TQ run, come in, just tear my whole car completely apart and redo the whole thing and go back out there again. Just that's just the way I was. I had so much passion for it, and I still have passion for it. I enjoy doing it. I don't have the want that I had then. I guess after you've reached a certain level, you just you're I'm not chasing that win anymore, I guess. Now I'm cool with running second or third and just being at the track with my friends.
You've gotten to the peak, if you will, to where now you're one of the guys that's truly having fun.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
I
not
enjoy
having to
it.
climb the mountain hardly anymore.
Yeah,
You're already
yeah.
you're up there.
So like, before I wasn't talking and walking around talking, I'd be sitting there just hard focused on getting the car and tires, everything perfect to go out and run. And now I sit in the pits and we make fun of the people that do it because we were there at one point. And that's probably my favorite thing about going to like PTs is you're not chasing tires because you can't do nothing to them. So that leaves like 90% of my equation out because the rest of the stuff, it is what it is. I mean, you don't get no trackside adjustments, so you can't swing for the fences. And I love swinging for the fences. So I hang out with Mike and Dustin and Rick. It was a good time. Stetler was there. We all just hung out, had pizza, and shot the bull. I ran one class. Ryder ran one class, so it was an easy peasy night of RC racing. And I didn't have a piece of junk that night. My car was pretty good, which usually ride the struggle bus there. So it worked out good where I could just chill all night and have fun.
Awesome.
Uh,
That's cool. And the reason that I kind of harp on saying what was your maintenance program and what were you doing and everything was is I think it's important to people for people to understand and know you are not the only guy that's doing that. And
no, no, no. I mean,
and what it takes and what everybody else is doing to get to that level. And these guys who are making A mains, I don't even at a PT's club race, those guys that are in the A main
mm-hmm,
worked more after their full time job than most people did at their full
mm-hmm,
time job on their
yeah,
hobby that week.
yeah. Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
think that gets missed by people a lot.
The week leading up to Chili Bowl was a bunch of work. I spent normally on the week before Chili Bowl. I mean, I would spend the whole week working on RC cars every afternoon, making sure everything was perfect, ready to go. Bodies are perfect, wings are perfect, everything's exactly where I want it. Everything's Loctited that need to be Loctited because their one run matters. I mean, when I was running SC Mod still there, I would change a spur gear every round. I was not taking a chance on a spur gear getting stripped. I would change it every single round because I wasn't going to take that chance of a piece of dirt that got caught up in the heat race before. One, what are the $3-4 spur gear, whatever they are, uh, going to cost me a chili bowl. So that was kind of what you got to do. You got to stay on top of it. You have so much downtime at chili bowl. There's no reason you can't bolt check and I've lost wheels. I've lost everything there, axles, um, from where I didn't do it. I skipped over that part and it cost me.
Yeah. So when you say every race matters, I want to read off some of these numbers from last year's Chili Bowl. Your numbers, and I just
Gosh,
just for people to understand in your invite class, just some of these races: to second, fifth, first, third, first, second, and late model. Sprint car eighth, second, third, eighth, first, fourth, sixth, and that unbelievable runs, right? You had three total races that you weren't in the top. I'm sorry, you had five total races out of the, I believe there's 10 there, or is that 16 there?
16.
16, you had four that weren't on the podium. And that was only good enough for fourth.
Yep.
Just so, I mean, we are in peak Chili Bowl season, right? So, I just want people to understand, and I want you to go into it more. In my opinion, what an unbelievable run that is. And that was fourth.
And
Talk about that a little bit.
so my cars were actually better than what the results show. Some of those were self inflicted and some of them weren't because you have to push the issue. I feel like you have to push to get the best finish you can in the invite class because there's so many good guys and a lot of the push isn't isn't worth it. There was several times that I would have finished second, but I ended up fourth or eighth because I got in a wreck and broke my stuff. I mean, I was leading one heat race that I ended up, I think, sixth in that heat race. I was leading the heat race and there was a guy spun out in turn three and I didn't see him and I ran right into him and I sit up on my side on the top of the track for I had the second place guy almost a lap down and he had enough time. I sit up there for him to make a whole nother lap and pass me before the turn marshal ever flipped me back over. So when I say yelling at turn marshals, that's the one I'm talking about. Is that one? But just like I think in late model, I got broke once, popped a camber link or something off in a wreck. So I mean, those runs really matter. I mean, I was right there in the battling for the lead and points pretty much to the very end. But to me, it's either nobody cares about who finishes second through 102nd. Nobody cares about that. I'm there to win, and that's what I'm there to do. And I definitely had the cars to do it. I mean, I looked at lap times, and I was the fastest or second fastest in the car on the track every round. But I mean, I wasn't. I was running a 24 assault, nothing extravagant. I think the only brass I had on it was some nose brass, and I took the brass from the back and moved brass to the front, and got rid of the brass on the back. I mean, I didn't do nothing extravagant. The cars were just really good. I mean, like I said, it's tires and knowing when to do with tires, when to do it. And I think that was, and I'm a highlight guy. I run highlights. When tracks get grip in it, just that's when I'm comfortable, when his track gets grip.
Yep. Awesome. Well, and so I think talking about the invite class and all that, we have to ask or I have to ask the question. Give me your opinion on the invite class at the Chili Bowl as somebody who has won it before the invite class was started.
Man, so I think it definitely has its good sides and bad sides for sure. The good side last year was we didn't have to wait in line for practice, so we got our own practice sessions. Um, we knew when our heat race was gonna be up. I think they fixed it this year where there's not gonna be as many heat races as there was last year. We just went through so many sets of tires on the track we were on, which I was good with because I enjoyed the track we were on. That's the kind of track I like. I'm good with eating tires. I'm not in this for to save money on tires. If it costs money to run tires, it costs money to run tires. Even before I was a sponsored guy, if I needed to wear up a set of tires, I would. We used to sand down brand new rebars to run them as slicks. I'd stick them in a freezer and sand them down to nothing and run them as a slick. And I was good with going 2 or 3 sets a night. It's just part of racing. It costs money. You got to pay to play. Any hobby's expensive. You just got to figure out which ones you like enough to be okay with the cost. But it was good. Format was good. I liked the format. I didn't think I was going to. I thought it would be kind of a hard to pass deal. At the end of it, the fast one is usually, if he doesn't get caught up in a bunch of wrecks, it's going to end up towards the front because most of those guys are courteous enough to know I'm slower. Let me get out of the way, or we're both going to get wrecked and I'm going to lose time. And I feel like that's where a lot of these guys that are upcoming don't get that. If you're running on time, if a fast guy runs up behind you and he's trying to pass you, and you both get in a wreck when he's trying to pass you, it's going to cost you more time than if you would have just moved up one car in the corner to let him go and then fell in right behind him. So I think if a lot of guys figured that out, they would be a lot better off than.
I think so. I couldn't agree with you more. And if there is one thing that I have been good at, especially as bad as I have been on my personal racing, is getting out of the way of the fast guys. So um, I think that and the only reason that I understand that and I am on board with what you just said was because I raced off road for so many years before I even got into oval.
Yeah,
And I think there's a lot of these younger guys that are coming up that really only race points where you got to go. You got to go right
yeah,
now, and it matters where you
hmm,
finish, not time. I grew up on IFMAR.
yeah,
I still love IFMAR.
yeah,
IFMAR, but everybody wins. If you're going to get blown past by somebody, lose a half a second or a quarter of a second by getting out of somebody's way, and you're still going to let them get caught up in a wreck. You're still going to do better than they are. So I think that everybody should all these young guys should be forced to run IFMAR for like a summer or a winter or something, just to understand. Hey,
yeah,
I'm not going to die if I get out of somebody's way or let somebody pass me on a front
yes,
straightaway.
yes,
So
yeah. But I mean, I think the invite class has its ups. I think it waters down the rest of the Chili Bowl. Um, to win one of the other classes, it definitely doesn't make it the same um, as winning the Chili Bowl from 2024 and back. I mean, it's still a big accomplishment to win the Chili Bowl. but it's not the same as winning it with all the guys that were in the invite class still in it. Um, Not only do you get to race them, you also got to race all the guys that are behind them too. And I kind of liked it because you got to work traffic better when you're running with slower guys as well.
And that's, you know, so, and that was kind of my next following question that I was going to ask you. Is there an asterisk next to the open class, do you feel like, now, these last 2 years?
Um, yeah,
You still got to give them their flowers, no doubt. You still have to give
yeah,
everybody that wins their flowers. But
yeah,
is there a small asterisk next to that
yes,
win?
yes. It
Okay.
sucks for those guys because they still deserve the Chili Bowl win, and they did win the Chili Bowl and won a driller, but it's not the same. It sucks because it's not for them, but it's just not the same driller. And but they get their time to shine. Like this year, the guys that won drillers last year get to move up and try their hand in the open class or in the invite class and see if they can do it. It's hard. Your stuff's got to be perfect whenever you set it down. You know, in the pits, everybody in my heat race is good drivers. It's not, man, I got two or three good guys in my heat race. My stuff's got to be pretty good. No, from the front to the back is good people.
Yeah, I can't. Again, I've never been there, but one has to make the assumption the cost and the time and everything that it takes to go to this race. Your average Joe Schmo that's going to be in a D main at your local race isn't there.
No, no. And see, and he does it to where everybody can come and enjoy it. But I feel like there's a time and place to race, and there's for everybody, if that makes sense. Like something like that, like you go to like the big off road races, there's guys that are obviously lower guys that don't need to be there, and that's why they started the pro classes and the expert classes and that kind of stuff. So I think that's why he's doing that now is just to help split them up where they're not the same, kind of the way off road does. But I don't think that we're near the level of entries as what off road gets. Besides that one event, or the big enough gap in that many experts and that many sportsmen or whatever the next level is down on off road. So I get it. I mean, everybody wants to come out and race just to say they raced the RC Chili Bowl, and they deserve it. I mean, you can want to pay the money to go race. What if I was somebody at a lower level just getting started? Would I go pay the money for it? No, because I'm not. I don't feel like I'd be ready for that yet. But each their own. If they want to spend the money on doing it, that's their money, their business. So, if they need help, I'll be more than happy to help them. I mean, that's the Chili Bowl this year. I'm gonna just pretty much just be helping people and just be there for support. And I enjoy that side of it. I enjoy helping other people succeed with their cars. But it goes down to back to being a good sport with it and just enjoying the hobby for what it is.
So for all those guys listening that are about to get in their cars and head down to Tulsa, what is one tip, on track, off track, whatever it is? What's one tip from Ryan Ralph that the a new racer, their first time going to the Chili Bowl? What's one thing that they need to know before they get there?
Um, hmm, it's not that big of a deal. It's a club race with a lot more people at it. Go enjoy it. Um, Try the ribs at Oak Heart Barbecue. Best ribs in the country by far that I've ever had. And I'm a smoker. I love smoking meat. I smoke any chance I get. And their ribs are better than mine, and I hate it. Um, just enjoy it. If it's your first time going, definitely just enjoy it. It's a lot of these guys that win drillers don't win them their first time going. They win them because they know what to expect the next year they go and know what they're walking into. And I mean, I still get jitters when I go to the Chili Bowl just because I know what kind of level race it is. But it's at the end of the day, it's still just a bunch of grown men playing with toy cars.
Yep, exactly.
And if you need help, find somebody that's running the same car that's at a higher level than you, and go ask them for help. Don't be shy. Any guy at the Team GFRP tent will be gladly to help you. Any of them. You can go to any of them and they'll help you. And that's what they're there for.
Well, man, we've been going for almost an hour. I've got 3 more questions for you, and then we'll get you out of
That's
here.
good.
I know you're getting ready to have dinner, so we'll get you out of
Yeah.
here and go enjoy some suppers. Um, Kind of leading into what I just asked, but a little bit of a different way. Take Chili Bowl out of it. What is one tech tip or piece of knowledge that you feel like every racer should know in our RC Dirt Oval world?
Um, One tech tip: right rear camber link adjustment. I'm gonna throw that one out there. That's been my go-to for years. Is my right rear camber link. That's that is my adjustment to go to for anything. If I need to fix any part of the my car, is usually I can fix it with the right rear camber link. And it's usually just with the length or raising it on the outer or lowering it on the outer. Lengthen it makes the car grip up better. So if you need more grip, lengthen that. If you need less grip, raise it or shorten it. More grip, you can lower the outer or raise the inner. And you can pretty much get your car pretty close with just that one camber link. A lot of people adjust all 4. I will adjust them, but I feel like the most important camber link on the car is the right rear camber link.
Okay, and that's speaking specifically. Is that any car, or that's speaking
Yeah, it's
specifically sprint
any
car?
car,
Or
any car,
okay,
any car.
interesting, interesting. Okay, and then next one is, what is one RC race? Pretty, I'm sure this is, I already know this answer, but what is one RC race every racer should go to?
Ooh, hmm. So I would say most people are going to say Chili Bowl. So we'll just not even say that one since it's a given. So there's a track in West Plains, Missouri, that I try to go to every year. Triple H RC Raceway. Um, the ribs suck there. Barbecue sucks there. Um, but they have a really good facility, and the track is a small little bull ring, and that's probably my favorite track to go to. I've always been really good at it because it's shaped similar to my home track that I used to run before they closed down. Um, but I would say that they run the Show Me 100 and another big one, Barn Burner, which is usually in December, and Show Me is in April. But that is a really good race to go to. It's a good track, good people. But yeah, I would say that's probably one of the better events to go to. The Battleground's a good one too. Central Mississippi Battleground. I like it because it's for a good cause. It's for St. Jude.
Awesome,
So they
awesome.
have a pretty big entry and it's high bite, so it's still right in my alley. It's a really good race to go to. They run a really good show, and it's nice to go down there. The barbecue down there is decent. Anywhere I go, I'm gonna try the barbecue. Like you were talking about your track, I think I was talking to your wife about the barbecue that was there by near. I will find a barbecue place nearby that I'm gonna try. But so far, Tulsa has been the winner of barbecue. So,
You're gonna love it here. So I am on the exact opposite of the spectrum. I can't stand. I eat like a 4-year-old child. So I don't
uh,
like barbecue. I don't like it. I'm like I'm a mac and cheese and chicken tenders guy basically.
oh no,
But the rusted silo is. I mean, you could damn near throw a baseball from where our track's going to be to this place, and it is. It's been ranked like number one in Indiana for a long time, at least this area, from what
yeah.
I understand. So we'll have to get you up here, and you'll have to go.
Yeah,
We'll go try
so
it.
I was just in India a few weeks ago for Ryder's birthday. We went there and went to the museum and done the go karts and stuff by the track, and I took him to the what's the breakfast place there right there across from the track, Charlie
Okay.
Brown's.
Yep. Yep.
We went to Charlie Brown's for breakfast. Anytime we're there for the BC 39, we go to Charlie Brown's for breakfast. But anyway, so we went up there and we ended up eating at the is it the garage? Is that what it's called? The garage or something like that? It has a bunch of restaurants inside of this like little
Yes, yeah, I haven't been there, but I actually just sent that to my wife on TikTok a couple days ago.
Yeah,
Somebody was walking through it. We want to go up
yeah,
there and check that out too.
yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't bad. It's expensive, so be prepared for that. But so that's where we ended up eating dinner. But I wish I would have seen that the barbecue place that y'all have by because I would have drove to it instead. But
Yep.
we ended up having the barbecue there, and it was okay. But if you're a chicken tender guy, you don't need to be going nowhere like that. You
I
stop at McDonald's.
that's where it's at, man. I don't. I'm not picky, and that's the crazy thing. I'm not a picky eater. I'm just
Well,
simple.
so you would like Chili Bowl because they got chicken tenders there. They're only $25 for four chicken tenders. That's all it
Perfect.
costs.
Perfect. Well, what we got to do then is hopefully we can get to a race together, and we need to do a segment of the Ryan Ralph. Every race you go to for sure on your channels, you need to do a Ryan
Yeah,
Ralph
the
barbecue score.
review.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'll rank the chicken tenders anywhere we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for cheese fries too. We were at that Four Rocks race we were at this weekend. They had some. I mean, they are just frozen fries with Velveeta melted cheese. Probably
And
they were
it's
good. So
yeah, my wife's the same way. Her go to is pulled pork cheese fries. That's what she loves. So anytime we find a barbecue place, that's what she gets. And
yep.
the one at Triple H in Missouri, I guess their barbecue cheese fries is good, but their ribs are like unedible.
Wow.
So we have to go there so that she can get her fries. But that's I don't get nothing else from there.
Yeah. Well, I will make sure in our show notes that I tag or send put links for their Facebook for Triple H and for Battlegrounds so people can like and follow
But
those
yeah,
pages. Make sure
yeah,
we get some people to
those
there.
are some pretty good tracks.
Yep.
There's several good events to go to that are for charities. Little Dega has one that's for St. Jude's, I think. That's down in Mississippi. I went down there a couple years ago and ran really good down there. But yeah, I mean, there's several. Just start out small, and I feel like running more races would benefit me more than I do now. I think that's probably why my nerves bother me so much now is because I don't race near as much as I used to.
Right. And so before we get to the last question, one thing you've touched on a couple times that we haven't said much about is you keep referencing high bite. Um, I kind of had an epiphany this weekend because the guys who dominated the mod sprint class, which are probably some of my two of my new like best friends,
They're high bite palm tire guys.
Anthony and Uric. I'm sure you know those guys,
Yep.
but I got to sitting there thinking like, man, when it gets high bite like this, and these guys have been on foams before, their minds are so sped up, or your mind even if you like high bite, your minds are so sped up compared to what this rubber tire stuff is for the most part. I was like, man, I got to go get a foam tire car and just to practice. I mean, my home track, quote unquote, would be Go Fast on foams, but I don't
Oh
have a
yeah.
foam car. So
So foam racing to me is nothing like rubber tire racing. Like it's not. You don't drive the same. Foam tires, you don't really even turn the wheel. You just use the throttle for everything. If you're hitting your marks every lap, you're don't even touch the wheel. You're just using your throttle. Um, and then you go to race rubber tire, and you're more on the wheel. And most foam tire tracks are smooth, so you're not going through bumps or nothing that kind of stuff. Like the dual, they have the foam tire rubber tire dual race. I ran it in 24, 23, something like that. 23, I think maybe. I can't remember. For the first time. I ended up winning the duel. So that was pretty cool. And that was the first time I ever ran a foam tire car and I made the show um, in mod sprint foam. So that was pretty cool to say that I done that first time I ran a mod sprint foam. But I'm a highlight guy, so I guess I could kind of translate it over knowing throttle control. And most guys just cannot make themselves stay on the gas. They want to let off the gas, go through the corner, and that's where I struggle on loose dirt. Is I like to stay on the gas the whole time, so I can't make my mind let off the gas. I want to stay on the gas to the whole corner, and it just doesn't work. So I tried running one of Dustin's setups a few years ago, at Chili Bowl in Midwest Mod because his car was really good and mine was not. So I was like, well, I'll try it and see if I like it. And I just couldn't do it because I couldn't get off the gas that much to get to the drag brake. I don't run drag brake. I do run drag brake in my cars, but I don't let off enough to get to it unless there's a wreck or something, and then I can get off the gas. And that kind of is just like my brakes without hitting the brakes.
sure, yeah, I mean, it's because like I say, where your mind has take away the, number one, it's wheel time, but number two, the your mind, and from what I've seen, your mind has to be so incredibly sped up to be ahead of that car, because like you're saying, you don't
Yes.
really steer them, you're using throttle, so you're even having
Yes.
you're paying even more attention to the feel of your car, to the
Yes.
attitude, the position of your car.
Yes. The
Like,
way
man,
it
the
looks going on the
translation
track.
is right.
Yeah.
So the translation has to be, you know, some of these guys that run, go from foam to rubber, it's like they're just playing with their food a lot of times at the rubber tire stuff, because it translates like they're driving Cadillacs probably.
Yeah.
So
So the way I look at it is I want my car to look like Scott Bloomquist going around Eldora. He's the only person that can make his car look that way going around Eldora running the bottom. So if you ever look up a video of Scott Bloomquist running the bottom at Eldora, run like trying to like when it gets slick and he's trying to hit the bottom perfectly, that's what your car should look like on a highlight track. Start out wide and then it's just slowly making its way down into the corner, and then it hits the apex perfectly every single time. And he does it. He's the only one that can do it perfectly and make it look that good.
and the car
Which
also doesn't move. The attitude of that car is
yes,
locked in from
yes,
every square inch of that track. It is
yes.
locked in.
So, and a big part of that is just that's when you're learning suspension, and tires make a big difference on high bike too. If you have a tire, um, when we used to run the old high side, it was extreme high bite, wet, damp, mushy track. But if your tires started to wear out, you'd lose a couple tenths, and that's when you knew that your tires were done. And you start adjusting your car like, man, what is going on? Why is the track changing? But it was just your tires were getting wore out. So you then needed to now have another set, hopefully broken in, because most likely it's going to be a big race day. So yeah, so tires is a big thing. If you feel like your tires suck, go find somebody that's fast and grope their tires a little bit and figure out what they're doing with them.
So that's exactly what happened to me this weekend. Other than some of my ESC setting woes that I had to get through, I'll tell you, I had no idea and when I say no idea, I mean couldn't have guessed what a good rubber tire was supposed to feel like. All of my stuff, you go over there and grab them, and it's like pulling on loose skin. It's like, and I thought, man, oh man, these things are going to grip up, man. They're going to grab the track like a Top Fuel tire, and they're just going
Yeah,
to grip and go. And then Urich actually came over and handed me a set of his tires, and they were not hard,
they were just
but they
tight.
were they were square. Basically, they were
Hmm.
perfectly nice and square, and they
Hmm.
were tight around the foam.
Hmm.
And I just, like, man, I have probably 20 sets of tires out there that really just need to go in the garbage and start over, because my program, and in my late model, one of the big things I was struggling with was my car. It felt like it would rock down the
Yeah,
backstretch,
yeah,
and that's not set up. That's not anything. That is the damn tires, and I did not
yeah,
know that.
yeah.
And because that was the craziest thing is I literally, I am not lying when I say it. I could barely get my car around the racetrack. I could barely make a lap. After we got the ESC correct and my tire program correct, the entirety of the weekend, I put 2 rounds in the right front of my car, and I took 2 rounds out of the shock eyelet on the left rear. That's how close my cars were.
Yep.
And I was just so, like, I have been sitting here beating my head against the table for
Hmm.
going on the better part of probably 6 months, and it was the damn ESC, and my tire program sucks.
Yep. And that's a big part of it.
Yep. So, but yeah. So anyway, one more question. We'll get you out of here. Give me like 3 people that you think should be the next guests on the podcast. Your number one, who should be 2, 3, and 4.
Okay. Man, I wish you could get him on there, but I doubt he would do it. Is Mike Fox. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Mike Fox. He was at the prelude to the Rumble. I don't know if you were there at that race, but he
I
was
was
at the
at the
prelude.
Prelude. Yep.
He runs GFRP stuff. He's a good friend of mine. But you want to find a die-hard wrencher, he's a die-hard wrencher. He wrenches harder than I've ever wrenched. He's the same way, but he'll have a good car, tear his car apart, rebuild it, and then go out and suck, and then come back and tear it apart and have a good car, and then come back and rebuild it and have another crappy car. That's just the way that's his way of doing it. We call it foxing it up. Uh, but I don't know if he would do it or not, but I'll ask him if he'd do it.
Maybe you can put a good word in for us.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Let's go with Man, that's a hard one. That's hard to think about. I should have got that question at the beginning so that I could have thought about it the whole time.
Wouldn't be any fun if I couldn't put you on the spot.
I know. I'm trying to think of somebody that would be good at it. Most RC guys are not real talkative people
Yep. I've been
unless I make them.
I begged Doug Gott to come on, and he was like, "Nope, absolutely not."
Yeah, yeah. Most of them are not like Draymire. He's got a lot of wisdom, but there ain't no way you can talk to you on one of these. Um, and he might accidentally smile and somebody has seen him smile. Let's see here.
I'm hoping that I can talk some of the harder guys into it because this is not live.
I know a
So,
good one.
okay, lay it on me.
Bradley Guthridge. Do you know
Okay,
Bradley Guthridge?
I don't know him either.
That's who you need on here.
Okay, tell me
So
about him.
he has been racing for like 2 years maybe, and he runs with me quite a bit when I race. But he would be a good one to like somebody that is getting started, would is fresh on their mind, getting going with RC stuff. He runs GFRP stuff. He ran 13.5 for a while, and then switched to mod. So he would be a good one that would be like a good subject to talk about switching from 13.5 stuff to the mod stuff.
Okay,
But he is very uh, personality. He's a talker, so he would be a good one to have on. Um, I guess you've already had Dustin on, so you don't really need him.
well, I want to do a formal one with him at least.
Um,
We'll do a formal one, not one where he just barges in and sits down and show me how all this shit works. So
um, so one more here. Let's see here. Do you have any more people on the list that you need to get on here?
I don't have anybody on a particular list. I've got we're gonna do as much as we can with what we got, and I'm hoping to do one a week, um, but we'll see. So
Man,
I've
that'd be
I've got
perfect.
a list, but
That'd be perfect for you to go out to the Chili Bowl and just do the podcast stuff.
so we've
Just
talked
interview.
about doing
Yeah,
stuff like I wanted to. One thing where I feel like I really missed the ball was I wanted to talk to the guys, Zach and Cole, who put on the Four Rocks race. I wanted to get chairs, and I just don't have all the equipment that I need yet. But I wanted to get
yeah,
chairs and cameras and all that, and set in the center of that track after the first night of practice, and tell me what's going on here, guys.
yeah, yeah. That would
I'm
be
gonna do
cool.
that more. I'm gonna do that more, and I'm working towards that. But we're starting out small and seeing how we can kind of gain some traction and go from there. So
I think another one would be Mark Bryant.
I
You
do
know
know
Mark Bryant.
Mark. I do know Mark.
Mark
Yep.
Bryant would be a good one because he's been around for a very, very long time.
Or I know of Mark. Mark probably doesn't know who I am. But
He would probably do it. He's been around for a very long time. He would be a good one to get on there, and he's got every car by every manufacturer and 6 of each. So he would be. I think he would be a good one to get on there too. But Guthridge is definitely the one you need to get on there.
okay. So Mike Fox, Bradley Guthridge, and Mark Bryant.
Yep, that's
Okay.
it.
Got it. All right. I've got them written down here. Ryan, thank you so much, dude. I
Yeah, no
appreciate it. I
problem.
think there's going to be so many people that listen to this. Hopefully, we get a bunch of people to listen to this on their way to Chili Bowl, and they can get a little insight on what they need to do and where they need
Yeah.
to prepare and all that. And but again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it for taking some time. I know I'm going to be getting. Oh, one thing we didn't talk about. I'm sure you want to talk about it. Ralph Prep. Tell us
Oh,
about that real quick.
oh, it's just some junky old tire prep that I make. I started making tire prep myself, and right after I started racing, because I just wanted to learn about it. I like learning new things anyway. So I started out with like syrup. That didn't work. Mountain Dew doesn't work. Just like home ingredients that I was finding around my house that I could use to see if I could get it to work as tire prep. None of it worked. So then I just used random stuff that I would come across, and then I started finding stuff that I liked. So then I was like, well, I want to try making it. So I started using different stuff. I mean, I've had uh, diesel fuel and tire prep. I've had 2 cycle oil and tire prep. I mean, I've had numerous. Just I bet I've spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on stuff that paint oil, 2 stroke stuff. I mean, just you name it that looks like it might be able to use as tire prep. I've tried it, and it just finally I found something that I like that works pretty much everywhere that I race. And from what I've heard, it worked really good at the Four Rocks, at the Prelude,
Cool.
and at this one.
Yep.
And I ran it at Chili Bowl last year when the track started to groove up. So like for even like the outlaw sprint guys that are in the open class, when the track grooves up, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's the best prep to be on, but it would be what I would be on for that type of track. If I didn't think it was going to be, like I said earlier when I was on it a few years ago, we weren't on a rubber start to grip up track. I didn't need to be on it then. So for like a lower grip, I wouldn't suggest being on it. But when it starts to blow off and makes a groove, for sure, that's what I would be on.
Yep. I'm not going to ask you what's in it because I know you won't tell me, but it smells like there's a hint of about a half a bush light in there is what it smells like in the end of it. So
I've tried so many different, just the same ingredient, just different manufacturers to get rid of the strong smell, but none of it was as good as that one ingredient. So it was either I dealt with the smell or made the tire prep worse.
yeah,
That was my
and
options.
I don't think it's violently strong at all. I didn't think it was too bad at all myself when I used it. So
Well, good.
where can guys go, and if they want to get a bottle for themselves, where can they go and get it?
So I will have them at Chili Bowl. They will be at the McAllister tent at Chili Bowl, or they can message me on the box with Ryan Ralph and or they could go straight to my PayPal and just there's instructions are on the box with the Ryan Ralph page. It's pinned to the top to order prep. I will say there is another. I will be releasing another prep here soon. That's going to be for more of the lower bite stuff for a treaded tire, and that will be it. I will have two. I will have a lower bite, and I will have a higher grip black situation, and that will cover all the bases.
Okay. And if anybody for whatever reason can't find you, reach out to me and I will make sure they get in contact with you so we
Yeah,
can get you some
yeah,
cans sold.
yeah.
So
Just shoot me. You can shoot me on my regular Facebook, and I can get you over to the on the box. If you're not following on the box already, follow me on the box with Ryan Ralph for any setup help.
and I'll make sure that I tag that as well in the show notes so people can go down and the link will be right there so they can find you. But all right, man. Ryan Ralph, I
And if you're
appreciate you
feeling
jumping
really
on.
giving, you can go give Ryder a follow on Ryder Ralph Racing.
Ryder Ralph Racing. All right, we'll tag
Yep.
that too.
Thank you. See you
All
later.
right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a good
See you.
night.
Bye.